Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing on this Thursday morning? Oh, just let's see, we got 9 days before Christmas. How's everybody doing? Welcome in, everybody. Just kind of bored this morning. Can't leave the house yet, so I figured I'd go live and maybe we just talk some drones over some coffee and whatever we want to talk about. How's everybody doing? Jenna, what's up? How you doing, Jenna? You're up bright and early. Yeah, I know. Hey, I can't leave the house yet, so I figured I'd sit around, and I was working on my banners for next week's show already. And Charles, welcome in. Genesee, Jackrabbit, Scott, how you doing? Mike Rennick. Anybody wants to jump in the chat? They welcome to. I was just sitting here this morning working on my banners for next week's show already. I actually slept pretty good last night. Was the first night, of course, my second night home from the surgery, and I took a sleeping pill instead of a pain pill, and I'll tell you what, that was the deal. I did actually sleep. Jenna, you working? God, let me get a picture of that. I get my camera here. Get a picture of you working. No, I'm just picking. If anybody wants to hop in, you're welcome to. Scott, how you doing this morning? Thank you for tuning in the show. Jenna, you watched last night, and I think, yeah, Scott, you were in. Had a great crowd last night. Brad Austin, and who else we had? Had problems getting in a little bit. He was working. Gary, I want to thank Gary. We didn't get a chance to tell Gary got knocked off, I believe. Mendez, what's up? Mike Rennick, how you doing? If anybody wants to hop in. Yeah, we did have a great crowd last night, Scott. It was fun. Brad, Brad's helped us out a lot with the South Florida drone meetups. So I thought it'd be good to get him on, and he likes the 3D print there. And I think Scott, I think you 3D print, right? I think if you have to in the FPV, there's something you almost get into because you almost need to do some kind of printing at some point. But yeah, it was a fun show. Next week, we got Ken Herron. Of course, it'll be 3 days before Christmas. I think Ken's going to be actually driving up to his mother's house. So we'll have him on. I guess he'll be in his car maybe. See how that goes. And then we'll actually show a bunch of viewer videos. Just kind of have like a little Christmas party. So. Okay, Scott, you haven't gone down that road. Matt Bagwell, welcome in. Anybody wants to hop in, you're welcome to. I'm just kind of bored this morning. I still can't leave the house till tomorrow. I actually want me to stay home basically 48 hours because of infections and stuff. So not really a whole lot to do anyway this time of year. When you don't have to cut grass and do a lot of stuff out in the yard. So it was a good time for get this taken care of. Yeah, guys, I do want to let you know. I don't know if you were here last night. Check out that our group page I made. That's Drone Swap Shop. It's a place you can sell your drone, old drones or drone parts or drone accessories. I couldn't sleep night before last, I guess, and was kind of bored, so I ended up making a page, a group page, and it is by invite only. But if you know somebody that we don't want people that's thinking about getting drones, it's really just for for selling some of your old parts and stuff. So it's a private page, but you work the price out between you and your buyer. And hey, clean your table off, clean your drone backpack out. You might have something. I mean, I had 3 or 4 things that wasn't even opened. Pick you up a few dollars. You might be able to get a new battery or get you an SD card, extra. So you'd be surprised. I know I had some stuff that just laying around it, and just let us know. Take a picture of it, put it on there. And if you're not familiar with that page, you should be invited. I think everybody in here. If you're not, we'll get it to you. And let's see, here it is right here. I'll try to share it. Show you what we're talking about. This is it here. Brad Austin already got his goggles, I think, pending right there. He had the DJI FPV goggles. Mark Fisher got the Evo 2. Chad B. It's got a Mavic Air 2 with 1 battery he's selling. It says that it comes with everything else that comes with the Fly More combo, including the Freewell ND filters. He's got a case and 4 months of care refresh left for $650. So, and good thing about drone, I feel like buying a drone from the guys in a group. They're all well taken care of, and people you trust. DeMarco's selling a Mavic Air 2 right there with 3 batteries, and he's got a GPC case. He's actually got the version 1 smart controller, and I think he'll break that package down. John Booth got a unique Q500. That's a Typhoon. So yeah, and I got a case there. I got a case, one of the cases that came with the Air 2S I don't use. I got a ribbon cable for a Hubsan Xeno 2. And I got some propeller holder there from PGY Tech. It's for a Mavic 2. So yeah, there's, I got a case for a Femi Mini I had. So yeah, there's a great place to put your stuff. And it doesn't cost anything. Oh, you don't? Okay, Scott, you don't do Facebook. Troy, welcome in. John Coopy, welcome in. John, yeah, y'all had a great show last night. Sitting around listening to y'all. Mike Rennick. Okay, well, guys, yeah, no Facebook, but hey, if you need something posted and you don't do Facebook, hey, just message me. Send me a picture. I'll get it up for you and get you in contact. We can always work around that. It was just something I thought about doing. It's it's not going to cost anything. Gab, okay, Troy. Yeah, I didn't realize so many people didn't do Facebook. Wow. But hey, let me know. We'll get it put up. Get rid of some of your stuff laying around. John Coopy, I know you got a bunch of FPV parts there laying around, maybe. There's a link if anybody wants to hop in. Yeah, and it's I think Scott, if you remember, Robbie, World Drone Community tried to do a what he tried to do, an auction, and that's kind of hard, only because you have to have a certain amount of people in there, and people have to want that item to to get it bidding. So this is just, hey, just post it, and like I say, and if you're not a Facebook member, hey, just hit me up, send me a picture, I'll post it for you and put you in contact. There's nobody's making any commission, nobody's making any money off of it. 100% free. You work it out between your buyer and your seller. They can Venmo you, they can PayPal you, they can write you a check, whatever they want to do. So Sorry, that guys. I heard somebody beating on a pipe or something outside. I don't know what that is. Yeah, John. I know especially the FPV guys. I think I know you guys have a lot of. I mean, I know you buy stuff. Maybe you might have bought a frame you didn't use. Might have bought a motors. Well, Jackrabbit, I don't know about that, but I'll just put it on there for you, and y'all can trade phone numbers or whatever. No, it's just strictly free, kind of going between people. Just a place I thought to get rid of some stuff. Wow, 60-mile-an-hour winds. I saw that our news guy here was showing that front last night on the news, saying it could be repeated. Uh, about what they had with all that damage in Kentucky. Cool, John. Hey, John, I had to get with you. My son-in-law Matt built one, and he's already ready to build another. So yeah, let me know what you got, because he ain't even flew the one he built. And John, I'll tell you what happened. He built he built a really nice. What is it? I think it's a 3-inch. No, it might be a 5-inch. Maybe it's a 5-inch. So it turned out really nice, and he's kind of doing it in purple and gold, kind of the LSU colors, and man, it come out real good. And Brad Austin printed him some little, I guess, the little feet, little caps to put on the feet. And when he screwed one of the screws in, he was thinking it was a little bit short, and he took the screw out. And then when he screwed it in, he touched the coils of the motors, one of the motors, so didn't get to fly. So he had to order that motor from Banggood, where he ordered it from. So now he's waiting on that. So he's kind of aggravated because he didn't get to fly. But anyway, he hit the so yeah, he was aggravated, but he's already wanting to build another one. So yeah, he hit the winding is what he did. And I think when he fired it up, it just made a weird sound. And of course, Doc said that you might could straighten them windings up with a little erecto pin or something, but I don't know. When he started looking at it, it's just too much to fool with. It's easier probably just to put a new motor, but I guess he should have ordered 5 motors when you build something. So yeah, Jackrabbit, I tell you, that package that they came out with, that they just came out with, that B&H had, for that 1749, man, that's the way to go. If because you can get that smart controller with that Air 2S. DeMarco just got his yesterday. Okay, yeah, Troy, Mike Rennick. Yeah, guys, hey, so, check those subscriptions. I tell you, man, it's Brad. Good morning, Brad. How you doing? I was talking to Gary Sullivan yesterday, and Gary was a guest on our show, and Gary doesn't put a lot of videos up, but still he does have a channel. And man, I know I was subscribed to him, when I first met him, and it's like, man, I'm looking for his channel to put in the link and stuff, and so I don't know what happens to that. Oh yeah, Mike. I think Mike. Did I see you hit your truck? Was that you yesterday? Or somebody hit their truck with the Air 2S? I think that was you. Brad, if you're not doing anything, want to hop in, you're welcome to. If anybody wants to hop in, I know you guys getting tired of listening to me talk, that's for sure. But I can't leave the house yet because of my surgery, so I'm just kind of hanging out. So I figured we just kind of hang out this morning. Gary Bauer, yeah. Gary, thanks for sending that video. Okay, Mike, yeah. So Mike, how'd that happen? I mean, you were Did you have the obstacle avoidance turned off? Did you just were you landing, taking off? And Brad, if you only knee deep, you got a long ways to go. You're pretty tall, so just saying. You're not tall as Kai, but hey. Dean, welcome in. Anybody wants to hop in, you're welcome to. Guys, I'm dying over here. I'm dying. Help me out. Mike, Jerry, Brad, John Coopy. Come on, John Coopy. I know you can get on. Quit doing your hair. Quit doing your long ass hair. Putting it in a ponytail for a second and get on here. Oh, yeah. It was a good show last night. I had a lot of good shows. Dobo had a show, him and Eddie. And Bill Thomas, John and them, Ron Brown. Got you, Troy. Got you, Troy. Yeah, I'm not gonna water my tree. It's plastic. Let's see. Tonight, yeah, we got who? What's the night? Thursday night, yeah, we got Ken Herron, TNL. Yeah, Charles. You know, I don't know what are you taking a course? You know, anybody who I think Greg Pittman had just passed it this week. I know I passed it. I think it was in April or May. So yeah, just take your time, read the questions, and study. You know, I kind of crammed for what I did. I kind of took a little time off from YouTube and about 2 weeks. I'll say not. I don't say took off, but well, I watched a lot less YouTube of shows and just kind of concentrated. I did take a course, and you know, there are a lot of free stuff. I can give you a couple good. I say last minute. I know that morning I went and took the test. I listened to a couple videos. So yeah, it's really I say if you study and walk in there and you'll pass the test. I don't think you can just walk in there if you never look at anything. Yeah, Jackrabbit. I don't know. That tree is my tree is pretty sad, really. Well, there it is back there. Couldn't find the top, and I never did. My little granddaughter was going in the attic and looked, and we never really got around to it. But it's kind of a tree without a top there. Taking off, wind started blowing, tried to go up with no response, getting closer, tried right and left and hit my truck. Wow, and hit the gimbal. So, Mike, was you auto taking off or just you took off by yourself? You know, I know, and hey, I think I always try to take off and, of course, let it hover and kind of like you do with a new drone. I still kind of do to this day. Of course, I go up, down a little bit and sideways. And then, before I kind of like, as Philly says, get up and out of here. But, and, that's why they call it accidents. And it happens like in a blink of an eye. I know that. So wait, Jenna, you took your third, you did your 2017, 19, 17, 19, and 21. Okay. Yeah. It's a, I think it's a, I know for me, I haven't taken a test in, oh God, since 1995, since I took my real estate test. So, hey, it's kind of a proud moment. You walk in there and pass that test, and you do feel a little sense of accomplishment. So, and you got the knowledge is good. I think that's what's great. You know, these drones, we talk about it all the time. You know, you can get kids, you know, well, parents maybe walk into a Best Buy and Walmart, they'll go pick up a drone. They know nothing of the rules, and that kid's gonna get that drone on Christmas morning, and you know, man, I don't say they can intentionally do something wrong. Well, thank you, Ron.
Hey, buddy.
Man, I was getting tired of talking shit.
How you feeling, Johnny?
Oh, doing better. You know, today I did sleep last night. I kind of made a decision, executive decision last night. I wasn't taking my pain pill, so I took the sleeping pill, and it was good. No, it's definitely better today a little bit. It's just where the stitches are. It's kind of sore, you know.
Oh yeah.
You can't get comfortable, but hey, today will be better, and tomorrow will be better, and hey, next couple of days it'll be. I say it'll be all over with, but I can take a shower. I think today, so that'll feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just making some coffee, and I said, well, let me go live. I'm not doing nothing. I can't leave the house. They don't want you leaving for a couple of days with infection and all that bull crap, you know, which I have nowhere to go anyway. But
right.
I mean, I could go sit at my little cemetery office. It's only a couple blocks from my house, and just kind of hang out there and drink a cup of coffee, you know, but I'm just going to hang out at the house here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ron, you got it, because I'm going to fix a cup of coffee.
Uh-oh. Not sure what you're going to come back to. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
Morning, Brad. John Coopy, Jackrabbit. See, AZ Drone Dude. Dean, Microghost. What else do I know here?
Now I'm grabbing another cup for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So yeah, Ron, you off this week or off today?
Yeah, I got to go back in tomorrow. I just watched a really, really interesting YouTube video. It was probably an hour and a half long. It was just running the whole operation. Technically, they call it the busiest airport in the world is Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And oh, my God. You know, it gave you a realization of just what it takes on a day. And they didn't go through everything, but everything from maintenance to the tower to the runway maintenance, and you know, just taking care of bird control. I mean, there was just a whole list of things. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot we don't even think about for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty cool video.
Yeah, especially if you take anything from Delta, well, it's got to go to Atlanta. Yeah. And like, I have a friend, she graduated with me from high school. She's still actively working for Delta, and now they don't have a hub here in New Orleans, so she has to hitch a ride from New Orleans to Atlanta to start her. And sometimes she'll hitch a ride on other companies too, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of funny because it's like, man, even if you're going from New Orleans to Houston, you got to go to, you know, New Orleans, Atlanta to Houston, you know, it's so aggravating. That's why I mostly do Southwest if I go somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
But you got to go through Atlanta.
You do. Oh, you left me again.
All right.
Speaking of flights, boy, I was just looking at flights to West Palm Beach. Ouch. I'm hoping something will change.
Really? Well, I mean, like, is it for that time of year, you think, or distance for you? Or
I don't know, but the one I'm looking up anywhere from $700 to $900.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's you had to get Alexis to come pick you up in her plane.
Yeah, I should.
Or you can get Max Air to bring that biplane he had yesterday. I don't know if you saw that video last night.
Yeah.
That's the real FPV there, boy.
Yeah. I like that that clip you played from Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, DeMarco was he called me, I think, the day before the surgery. He said, maybe they'll let his friends watch, you know. So he said, like that episode of Seinfeld. So yesterday morning, I'm sitting here. I said, let me pull that up. The Junior Mint.
Kramer. Yeah.
That was funny. I like how he's trying to get the doctor to move out the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You know,
was
my doctor
funny.
came in and Dr. Liner, of course, I mean, his name is Jeff and we're friends, but, you know, of course, he's a doctor. But, you know, he comes in, he marks you with a little marker. So he gives it to Susan. He says, hey, I'm going to give you this marker. And it's the only thing in this hospital that's free. And it didn't come from the hospital. It came from me.
Oh,
A little
really?
magic marker, you know. He said,
Wow.
this would be an expensive marker, but it's yours.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this character.
What are you doing live?
I don't know. I'm alive.
Huh?
I'm alive. It's good to be alive.
Of course you are.
Max, there you are. There's Max.
Max. All right, so
Johnny,
I got some good news on Max there. I'm meeting up with him and Tammy Jean on Sunday to fly.
Really?
They're in Miami, and they're going to drive up to Fort Lauderdale.
Max, watch him around Tammy. You know, you get to watch, keep your eye on Maddie.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to call Ray and then TJ and whoever and see if they want to fly on Sunday with us. So,
Man, I don't like y'all. Y'all have too many. Y'all got too many damn meetups.
it's okay, buddy.
Yeah, I hear you.
Move to Florida.
I'm all alone. Me and Ron's all alone up there where he's at. I'm all alone where I'm at.
Yeah.
He tried a little experiment last night, Johnny.
Oh, really? What was that?
Guys, it was an adapter that I had. I don't know. Well, you can see it. Hold on.
Let's see. Hold up. I can make you.
For the Mavic 2, they used to have a 1/4-20 thread on there, so you could put like a GoPro or any kind of camera on there. But I was talking to Mel the other night, and he said, "Hey, Ron, I got one if you want it." What I wanted to do was find out. I just bought one of the Firehouse lights,
Yeah.
the Arc 5, and
Yeah, I did too. I just got it.
I questioned myself for 2 days. Where am I going to put it? You know. So getting this light down here a little bit.
Velcro.
Yeah. The question is, where am I going to put it? I realized the whole purpose in it is for other aircraft to see you.
Yep.
But I also want to see it too, So on the Mavic 2, there's nowhere really to put it on the bottom. There's too many sensors and stuff down there. So this clips right.
Hey, there's a spot. Are you talking about the Mavic 2, Ron?
Yeah.
I have a Velcro patch. I run 3 of them. I run one on the front arm. You could put it on the arm, one of the arms on the side.
Yeah.
On the front of the arm, and then I run one on the back in between the sensors, and then I also run one underneath, in between the first optical flow sensor and the gimbal. There's a little section right there that says Mavic on it.
Yeah. Right here, I think where you're talking.
Yep. That's where I put mine.
But did you notice? Do you have the Arc 5?
No, I'm running the Ulanzi ones. They're a little bit bigger, or the smaller, I think.
I think the Firehouse a little bigger. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because what I ran into that, Matt, was I tried to put it on there and it's too thick and it doesn't let the front legs. It brings the front legs up off the ground about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so.
When I run mine, I only run it at like when the sun's going down or at nighttime, so I can see it.
Right.
That's the only reason for that bottom one is for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The front one and the back are for, the FAA thing, but the bottom one's for me. And I run it when I use it at night. I put my PGY Tech landing legs on, so it brings it off the ground.
Right.
That's the only time I use it.
I think I'm gonna end up buying some more, but yeah, these Firehouse lights, those things are obnoxious.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, stick a piece of Velcro on the front arm and then run the Firehouse light sideways, and it should clear your prop.
Right. My question is, putting anything up front, especially if you're going to do any night or twilight type footage, how or does that affect that?
With the camera,
Yeah,
I don't see it on mine.
really.
You talking
Yep.
about when you face it frontward or downward though? Is it wrong?
Face it forward on the arm.
And it wouldn't mess with the camera?
I don't see it in my camera.
Seemed
Nope.
like it would.
That was my only fear, you know.
No. Yeah, it works out. You can. Those things are awesome. I put one on the back and the front during the daytime too. And
I'll
the
take a phone
visibility.
call, guys. Go ahead.
You could see them. You could see that thing from a mile away during the day. I love it. They're
Really?
great for visibility. Great.
I said maybe I'll just put a couple on there. Something I should have done long ago. And I'll tell you what, flying in some of the mountains, you know, I've lost sight of that damn thing a couple different times. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you get into that terrain and you lose sight, and it's like this is something I should have done long ago. And I'll tell you the other thing, you know, Matt North, he did the complete orange skin. And I watched a couple of his videos with his Mavic 2 with that orange skin. I'll tell you what, you can see it even in the video. You can see it.
Yeah.
Far away.
Yep. I'm getting ready to wrap mine again. I'm going to make it like a carbon fiber, like something darker because the color it is now. They picked the
Darker.
worst colors for drones.
Yeah, that
Oh.
gray is just, you know,
It disappears as soon as you get into the sky. It disappears.
Matty,
Yep.
just spray paint it orange.
You know what? I would too.
Probably
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt it, you know.
I would.
You painted
Well,
an
more of a-
elevator orange.
I haven't been able to fly much the last 3 days. The wind here has just been,
Yeah. You see my shop, Johnny?
I see that.
Yeah.
Jenna, what is Jenna saying, oh my God, for?
It's a little loud, but it's pretty loud, right? These are elevator doors. Right there. We build everything in-house.
you're at work, Matt?
What's that?
You're at work?
Yeah. I started working again on Monday. My sister, her husband used to run the shop, and they're getting a divorce. So he's hauling ass moving north, and she called me back in and said, I need you. So I said, okay, whatever. I told myself I wasn't going to do this.
Congratulations, Jenna. She hit 100 subs.
Hey, congrats, Jenna. Yeah, so I'm back. I told myself I wasn't going to do the elevator trade again, but I ended up doing it. I got stuck. But, oh well. How you feeling, John?
Feeling better today. I slept good last night. I took that pill, and I definitely, at
Good.
least I got to about 4 o'clock with, so yeah.
All
Lot
right, boys.
better.
I'm going to jump back to work now. We just had a little morning break, so I will, I'll catch you guys later.
On a break. It's 8:30. You just went to work at 8, so you can't work for 30 minutes and get a break.
Yeah, I got a break already.
6:30. We started 6:30.
It's like, hey, Ron, look, let me tell you what he did. He went to work Monday and took off Tuesday to go on a boat.
So did my
Sounds like
brother.
a fireman job or like a, you know.
So did my brother. Hey, we already had the boat planned before I knew I was coming back to work. So
Yeah. Your poor sister.
I know, right?
You're putting up with y'all two characters.
Oh yeah, no shit. We got the whole family in here. Both my sisters, my brother, my father. It's all of us. All right, you guys have a good day, Johnny. I'll call you later, buddy.
All right, Matty.
Later,
Yeah,
Ron.
man. See you, man.
All right, Jenna got to 100 subs. That means you got to put some new videos up, Jenna.
Yeah. I've been sitting in the 490s for like 6 weeks. I can't
Yeah,
see
me
that.
too. Ron, I'm like at 453. I went to 450 or 440. I don't know. I've been around the 440 for about probably 2 months, you know. And I mean,
Yeah.
hey, it don't. I say it really don't matter. You know, we all do it for fun amongst us, and we talk about it all the time. I think, Ron, you kind of got into it, I guess, a few years ago too. But I'm saying it's a lot more people doing it now, and so
Yeah. I'll never get monetized. I don't have the time to put the hours in.
right. No, I agree.
But I'm just having fun. It's just a little personal goal. I'm hoping I hit 1,000 someday. It'll probably be 5 years from now.
Yeah. Well, if you look back, if you some of those channels, if you look, you go to their about, you'll see they've been on there for 10, 11 years. And like I just started my channel in I think 2019 or something, so
Right.
to have over 500 is not too bad. But I mean, hey, it's all about fun.
Yeah. Boy, speaking of photographs, man, oh my gosh, talk about a trip down memory lane. Most of my life and career was in Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. And in 2011, due to money, they shut down our flight program. And the hospital has been bought, I know, at least 2 or 3 times since I left there. Well, now the last place that just bought it did some major changes. And then all of a sudden, they're closing that hospital and another one that they also own that's in the same community. And it's going to create quite a devastation. Oh my gosh, on that whole county. But anyhow, all the employees, bunch of the employees put a Facebook page together,
Mhm.
And the administrators of the page said, hey, let's post some old pics and have some fun and memories. And oh my God, you wouldn't believe. Oh, some of these pictures, I'm like, I can't believe some of these people had pictures of me, different things. And oh, it was hysterical. I've been laughing for 3 days,
Yeah, it's funny. I know the same thing. I was when I first got out of high school, I was a firefighter, and I wasn't even 18. I was 17 when I graduated. So my brother, I was getting a haircut. My brother was a barber. He said, hey, are you going to college, one day? And this right after, I graduated like on a Tuesday night. I think it might have been Thursday. He said, I said, I don't know. I ain't really decided. And he said, well, they need some firefighters, So anyway, my best friend's daddy was a captain. So he said, go up there and see Mr. Joe. So, man, I go in there. Mr. Joe said, hey, show up next Thursday at 2:00. The shift change was 3 to 3. I ain't even took the civil service test,
Oh, geez.
So, man, I'm like, and then we was the first class to go to the LSU Fire Academy. Now that they have it was the very first class, 1974. But it's like now I'll see now and then they'll post, because I was there 7 years, and they'll post some pictures, some old stuff, man. And I got like, believe it or not, had like a ponytail kind of hair, back then. And it's like, and it was, man, you was, God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I'm heading to work tomorrow, and then I come home Wednesday morning. I got a gift I'm going to give a very good friend of mine, and then either Wednesday evening or very early Thursday morning, I'm taking off for the mountains and working my way either to Yellowstone or Jackson Hole.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Right now in Jackson Hole, for about a 1 to 2 month period, all the elk and the moose seem to migrate into town. They're like walking all over town. And all the cameras and drones and toys will obviously be accompanying me. But there's a couple spots. It was about a month ago, I went over to the Bighorn Mountains, and unfortunately, I had a destination in mind where I know a lot of the moose hang out, and my truck broke down. So I turned around and come back. So I want to hurry up and get there, because the moose start to lose their horns here very, very soon, if they haven't already, a lot of them. But I'm looking for that winter, photograph of a big bull moose in the winter scene, and but there is one road out of Gardner, Montana, that is the very north entrance of Yellowstone, and it goes to Cook City. It's about
in there on a bike, yeah.
Yeah. You probably did that on the bike,
yeah.
Off of Beartooth Pass, and
yeah.
But I'm gonna kind of hang out there for that's what I'm gonna do for Christmas. So Christmas Day, I'll probably be sitting in Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's some beautiful country.
There's a couple trails there. There's one called Slough Creek. It's in the middle of the Lamar Valley, which is getting towards the northeast entrance of the park. And just because of all the photography groups that I have met there, I know of 2 big dens, and they go to these wolves go to these dens every year. And then in the spring, when the snow melts down on the bottom part of the valley along the river, then they migrate down to the river. But so I'm going to go up and see what I can find and do a little hiking. It's a little less dangerous this time of year as far as there's a guy, actually, Johnny, that I follow. Check him out sometime. His name is Stan Mills. He looks like he's pushing upper 60s, 70. The man is in phenomenal shape. He probably at least once a week does a 15 to 20 mile hike through Yellowstone.
Oh, wow.
That guy sees more grizzly bear than anybody I know. But it's that risk when, that's one of the things with nature photography, like I do, there's risks that are involved,
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
I just remember the morning last, was it April or May? My girlfriend had never been to Yellowstone, never seen a grizzly, never seen a moose in the wild. So I take her, and after about the third day of getting up at 4:00 in the morning, she didn't like that. So we're at the hotel, and we had seen a couple moose and a couple grizzlies from a distance away. But that last morning, I got up and she gave me that little sorrow face and said, "Do you mind going alone? I didn't sleep well last night." And I'm like, "Okay, check out at noon. See you then." And I take off because we're in Gardner, and I said we're 2 minutes from the park, but it's about a half-hour drive to where I wanted to go. And what's scary, Johnny, is that where I knew exactly where I wanted to park. There's a little parking space right outside of Slough Creek. And just as I'm pulling in, the lady in front of me jams on her brakes. I almost rear-ended her. But in between her and I, big male, probably good 600-700 pound grizz right between us. He come out right where I was going to park my car. Now, if I would have been there, I don't know, 15 seconds sooner, have my back turned, getting in my back seat and getting my camera gear out, who knows?
Yeah, and they, like I know you've been through. We stayed in Custer State Park there for Sturgis, and I tell you what, when you do that crossing them roads, one day the buffalo. I mean, look, when they decided to walk across, and one guy, I don't say he was, he was in front of us on his bike, and the buffalo like kind of walked right up to his bike and kind of like put his head up against the bike, and then he just kind of decided to walk off, but he didn't push the bike over. But I tell you what, it's like,
very easily could have.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's why I've always been so scared riding my bike, especially through Yellowstone, because they're so temperamental, and at the flick of a switch, they turn around and boom, they're coming at you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because I was like, we were about 10 bikes behind. I said, Lord, I hope this buffalo don't, And we stayed right across from the lodge there, and there's a little cabin right across from the little lodge where you can eat right there in Custer. And when we woke up one morning, they had like 3 or 4 buffalo like right there by our bikes, Yeah. And, I mean, they wasn't hurting nothing, but I tell you what, they're pretty
one
big.
lesson anybody who's on a bike, whoever does that, the best piece of advice I can give you is to do what I do. So far, it's worked. When you get into national parks like that and you get into those traffic jams, the first thing I do, because it's, there's 50 bison out in front and every tourist has to stop and get a picture. What I do is if the bison are up, I'm coming up and they're on the left, I try to pull the bike on the right side of whoever's car is in front of me, and then I shut the bike off because they hate the noise of something about the noise of motorcycles they hate. And,
Ron, I know you've been there before.
Oh yeah, you sure have.
That's me at Four Corners.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
That's a hell of a ride there to get into that place. I tell you that. It's like, will you ever come up on this damn thing?
Yeah. Not sure if I got any trips planned for this summer motorcycle wise. We did that one to the Olympic Peninsula last summer. That was 4,100 miles round trip.
Yeah, that's about what it would be when we do Sturgis from here, Now, my friends did Sturgis this year. I didn't go, but because it was right doing we just got back from our family vacation.
Right.
And they went. actually they went, but their wives actually flew up, and first time the wives ever went, and they really, I say the wives, I didn't think they would like it as much. You know what I mean? They just
Mhm.
didn't really do as much riding, so they were kind of. But they've been 4 or 5 times, so
Yeah.
I kind of would like to go when it's not the rally myself. I mean, hotels are a lot cheaper, and
Yeah.
when you see the same riding, yeah, you miss maybe the Sturgis, but we've been 4 or 5 times, so that's no big deal anymore, I guess.
I have been trying for about 2 years. I think I have 2 friends coming this year for Sturgis, and I'm like, listen, guys, I've been trying for 2 or 3 years to get somebody to take this ride. It requires an overnight stay, and we'll have to get a hotel like up in Red Lodge. I think you've been to Red Lodge,
Yeah,
Montana,
yeah,
on the eastern side of Beartooth. But it's the other route that you bring back that brings you down the Sheridan side of the Bighorns. And this canyon is just so. Months ago, I think this summer, I posted a 360 video. I took the Mavic 2 up and did a 360 video, or not video, picture
yeah.
of this canyon. And I tell you, when you're sitting there in a bike and you stop and you pull over, there's like no traffic, and you just look around. It's like, oh my God, it's all like red rock and really pretty.
I tell you, it is some of the. I think we've been. We really have been all over the country, but I think day by day or day for day, riding around Sturgis, and I know that road when we go up from I guess when we left Custer, and you go and then you come through and you go to Deadwood, you ride around by that reservoir or something.
Oh yeah.
Man, that is just a beautiful,
I'm trying to think of the
ride.
name of the lake. Pactola.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man, that is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then the roads are curvy and rocky, and man, it's just really pretty. Then you ride into Deadwood, and that's a whole nother little experience there. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
get to see
Deadwood's a little touristy.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's a great ride,
It is.
And that's all. I mean, I think the biggest thing about those areas is the ride,
It is, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't into drones. I wish, man, all the places we've been on the bikes, and I wasn't into drones back then. Just to even have of course they didn't really have the mini series back then, but man, to think you could pull out that Mini 2 on side of a road in Colorado and just
Yep.
get some of that would really been good, or anywhere around,
It's funny, whenever I used to take the girlfriend for a motorcycle ride, I would tell her, I said, this saddlebag, that's yours. You get nothing else. I said, that tour pack in the back, that's mine. My camera gear goes in there. I put my backpack, my drone, my cameras, everything that is camera or drone related, that is, and then I have the other saddlebag. But it's kind of funny. We had to do a couple dry runs of her packing,
Yeah, and I had a ultra classic with the tour pack, and then when the last time I went to Sturgis, I have now I have a street glide.
Mm-hmm.
So the tour pack you don't have, but I don't have any problem, for myself, and I think we found out just better to bring less clothes and wash. You can wash at the hotels. I mean, all you need is probably 3 pair of jeans, and of course you got a ton of shirts, but of course you need your rain gear, you need your gloves. Believe me, on a trip, it don't matter if you left in the middle of July, you're gonna use every piece of equipment in that in that saddlebag at some point.
Yep.
Now we did that year. We went to California, and we went all the way up to Seattle on Highway 1 and came back to Yellowstone. That was like 6,400 miles.
Woo.
We did not get into. We could have left the rain suits at home, but
really?
Yeah, I mean, not one day. 15 days on the road.
Yeah.
And, that was unbelievable, but you would have thought.
Yeah.
Because the last time we left for Sturgis, man, we left in the rain, and it rained till about Shreveport, about 5 hours, and it wasn't a pouring rain, but it's like getting caught in the rain is one thing. Leaving in the rain is a whole nother thing,
Yeah. Yep. I remember this trip this summer, I actually used that rain, not for the rain, for the warmth. Because it breaks that wind, from you. And then I remember coming back from Western Oregon. We were heading back to Boise, Idaho. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot about this one highway. And I gassed up. And I told my buddy, I said, "You going to gas up?" "Oh, I'm fine." "Okay." And then as we started down that road, I got to thinking, I'm like, oh, I remember this. There is nothing for the next 100 and some miles.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, 112 temperature wise. Oh, and then you get the heat from the bike, the heat from the
my
road.
God, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a road on Route 66. I guess coming back toward, or either going, I guess it's both ways, but I do remember out there in Arizona, and it says it's about 109 or 110 miles for nothing, and then you come into really just a little old time gas station,
Yeah.
So what's
That's
left of
what we
Route
found.
66. So, and it's hot. I mean, at that time we rode into Arizona because we was actually stopped and watched my friend's son play for the Diamondbacks. Then he was pitching that day, so we rode into Arizona Stadium, baseball stadium, and man, it was like 110 degrees on the bikes, and man, that air conditioning in the stadium felt really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah, I had the cameras out yesterday. I have do you remember Jim Wallace, Mr. Graphic?
I don't.
He actually did a lot of graphics work for Ken Herron.
Okay.
Older gentleman. He used to have a live stream, and I think he took on some illness or whatever. I'm not really sure, but every once in a blue moon, you'll see him pop into somebody's live stream. But anyhow, I used to chat with him a couple times a week, and we started talking cameras. And one day, and he said, "Ron, take a look at this Sony." So I did. I was checking it out, and he showed me all his photography, and I'm like, "Well," so I pulled the Band-Aid and I went out and bought it. I have not been displeased with this camera at all. It is.
I know y'all got, man. I know got a ton of cameras.
It's the RX10 Mark IV. It has a 24. It's what they call it's not a point and shoot, and it's not an SLR. What do they call that? It's a compact camera, but the lens is 24 to 600. The focus factor is 0.03 seconds. In other words, when you push that button, that camera is focused in less than a second.
Wow.
It will shoot 24 pictures a second for a 10-second burst. So in other words, in 10 seconds, you can get 240 pictures. And if you don't get one good picture out of that,
yeah, no lie. Ron, are you thinking about getting a Mavic 3? You haven't thought, I mean.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear what I'm hearing good and bad reviews. So
yeah, I mean, I think it'll. I mean, it's kind of strange that I say, you hear. I don't say bad reviews, but I just think they all need a little tweaking when they first come out, and of course they'll get that. But the camera, the quality from the video really looks awesome. I know that.
Yeah. And then I went and bought last year another Sony video camera. It's called the Z90. It's rated in the professional category of cameras, and it's strictly video. The thing I really like about it, it has dual camera or media slots. So in other words, you can record to two different media cards at the same time. So if one would go bad,
oh wow,
say you're shooting a wedding or whatever,
yeah,
you got that backup.
That's pretty wild.
Ron,
do you when you record your drone, do you take your cards out pretty regular just to hold that footage, or I mean, like in case something got corrupt, do you swap cards pretty regular or do not?
When I go on trips, like vacations, motorcycle trips, whatever, every night I pull them. I usually bring a a portable hard drive with me, and
Yeah.
I either put it on the iPad. Yep.
Yeah.
The iPad, the portable hard drive, and then I also leave it on the card unless I've run into once or twice where I've run into like, oh crap, I'm out of SD cards. What do I do? Do I, and I sit and think about what is the most least important footage, and I might drain, wipe out a card from like the Osmo Action or something. But
Yeah.
on the same token, I've stopped at a lot of Best Buys while I'm out traveling and bought.
Yeah, these little SSDs are pretty. I mean, this is a 500. Of course, you can get them in any size, but I don't really. I mean, I'm not shooting a ton of crap, so I don't even save most of my stuff. It's just stuff from around the house or something.
Yeah,
but and
what
especially
I like to do on trips is I will, we get done at the end of the day. I'll sit at the hotel room. I remember this trip to Oregon. Every night I'd grab a cocktail, sit out on the front porch of the hotel, and I do a little editing. And yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's fun. I mean, you're a
quite a bit.
photographer, so definitely, you probably, I mean, your shots and you're taking a lot of still photography too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which those. I mean, the video, it's kind of sometimes even with the drone, man, I find it better to do kind of just, I don't know. At first, I kind of thought it was better to do short little videos because it's easier to kind of edit and look through them. But then, kind of maybe just go ahead and record when you go up and you got it all,
Right.
So I don't really know what to write. DeMarco.
Unfortunately, I'm losing my work partner. When we first met last September, one of the first things she told me was she was into photography, and her and I started talking cameras and editing, and like I'm gonna like working with this girl, But yeah, she's taught me a lot, and she's finally got me convinced now. I'm shooting almost all my photos in RAW now, as opposed to JPEG, and I've been using Luminar 4. Which Steve Carpenter, I think, was the one that introduced me to Luminar 4 last year. But it it does a phenomenal job. Matter of fact, I don't know if you saw my Facebook. I come home yesterday, and I've been getting overrun by deer in my yard. They were sleeping up on my porch the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they act like they own the place. What was funny is these deer are so tame in this community that I started to come up from the garage. It's about a 15, 20-yard walk from my garage to my house. And I saw movement up on my front porch. It's 9 o'clock at night. And I see movement, and it kind of spooked me. Yeah, there we go. And
yeah, wow.
And here was the deer. And they didn't run 15 yards. And then they all stood there. I go into the house. And about 5 minutes later, I come back out. They're back on my porch laying down again. Really, guys? I had 24 yesterday that was in the house. That's a big deer I got several years ago.
Hey, Ron, I can't be friends with you no more. You're friends with Chris Waters, I see.
I'd love to go out and fly with him.
I love to mess with Chris and Kai.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one of the moose.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, that's your house there from
your place.
You got some drone shots, yeah.
Ron,
is that the helicopter you work on right there?
Yeah, we were in the Badlands of North Dakota. The funny story with that is we landed, and there was a couple park rangers, a couple sheriffs, and they're all standing there with the rescue crew, and the sheriff starts to walk up towards the helicopter, and he starts waving his arms. He's, "Get the hell out of here." And I'm like, what? I didn't understand. Here he was talking about these wild horses behind me, which I didn't see. There's probably about 15 wild horses. They saw that helicopter land, and they were just so curious. So they started running up towards the helicopter. But when he first come up to me and said, "Get the hell out of here," I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
he wasn't talking to me.
Well,
But
Ron, what you got planned for Christmas? You pretty well got it done.
yeah, like I said, Johnny, I'm next Thursday morning. I'm Christmas Eve. I got to make some phone calls and check the weather. The nice thing about it work, I can really check weather really well up there.
Yeah.
But my goal is Thursday morning to take off, and I'm going to head into the Bighorns. I'm going to let a few people know kind of where I'm at, just in the event I don't show back up.
Sure.
Hey,
and answer your phone. You saw that guy that was lost and he wouldn't answer his phone because he didn't know the number.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was really, his family was worried about him, and he was out on a hike and he was spending the night. And anyway, they had a snowstorm or something. Make a long story short, they were actually calling him and he wouldn't answer the phone because he didn't recognize the area code.
Yeah. Quick, real funny story. About 6-7 years ago, when I first moved to South Dakota, I was dating a girl from California. And when I had moved there, one of the things she asked me to try and promise her that I would not go out into the woods alone. And I had a hard time trying to keep that promise because I get bored. So
hey,
I go out on my
grid is not a bad thing.
Yeah. So I go out on my four-wheeler, and it's, oh my God, the most beautiful day. It was only like low 30s, but it was snowing. And I come into this canyon, and I don't have cell phone service. And I look up in this canyon wall, and I see what looked to be a cave. And then I saw another one. I'm like, I need to go up there and check that out. So I parked the four-wheeler, and I start hiking up this fairly steep hill. It took me about a half hour better to get up there. It was only like 500 yards. But just as soon as I got to close to the top, I got a text message from somebody. And I looked down at my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got 1 bar on my phone. In other words, I have cell service now because of the elevation climb. And I get outside of this cave and I turn around, and I'm new to South Dakota. And I'm almost like a tourist. I turn around, I pull out my phone, and I start snapping all these pictures. So I put my phone back in my pocket, and I'm like, I need to explore this cave. So grab a flashlight, grab a pistol, and I start into the cave. As I walked in, I could walk in, but then I had the roof kind of lowered down, and I started to duck down, and then it took a real hard turn to the left. Soon as I turned left and shined a flashlight, there was a female mountain lion laying in there.
Holy shit.
And she was not pleased that I dropped in unannounced. All I saw was the fangs, the whiskers going back, the ears going back. I'm like, holy crap. And, I'll admit I was scared to death, and I hurry up and I backed out, and I got to the outside of the cave, and I'm waiting for her to come charging out, and I'm ready to pull the trigger. She never did. So I start to step backwards, and I'm not turning my back to that cave opening. All of a sudden, my phone rings, and it's the girlfriend. And she said, hi, honey, what are you doing? And I instantly told her, you ain't going to believe this. I was out in this canyon, and I walked into a cave, and I found a mountain lion. Click. As I'm backing down, now I lose cell phone service again. So all she hears is this idiot went into a cave, and I told him not to go out in the woods alone. And he finds a mountain lion. Now for the next 2 hours, I have no phone coverage, and she has no idea what happened to me. Oh, was she mad? But
yeah. Well, I just wanted she didn't call the rescue, people to come looking for you and stuff.
Yeah. But
but hey, it's that's fun. You got a great area to, I think we all have unique areas, but
we do.
Man, seeing some of the other parts of the country, I know like here it's really not a great place to really fly. I don't know. You can go out to the swamp maybe, but I mean, it would all look the same. I don't know. It's I think out west is definitely, of course, the East Coast. You got the, anytime you're flying around the mountains and the water and the streams, it's a lot prettier.
Well, that's like I told Maddie. If I come down this spring, I've never been to the Everglades.
Yeah,
I'd like to go down there and fly, and I'm sure that those guys know where to go, where most of the alligators are, and
sure.
I only saw two or three alligators last April when we were down there, and
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know, I
You
went
rode
wild.
yeah, and y'all rode the bikes too a little bit.
Yep,
Didn't
I went out
y'all?
with Tony,
Yeah, y'all ran.
and that's where I saw him. Tony and I went out to this one nature preserve, and you know, he kind of reminded me that there was like a little pond out in this place, and I was walking over there, and my whole thing was, I want to look in the water and see if I see any gators. And he's the one that reminded me. He said, "Ron, watch yourself in that tall grass and look for what they call the slides." And you can see these
Yeah, you can
spots.
see them. Yeah, you see them where they put down the lilies and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And sure enough, I found that little one. He's on my video from that trip. And then he said, if you see little ones, you know mama's nearby somewhere. He goes, just watch yourself, you know. But you need somebody that is familiar with that, you know, that kind of reminds you or teach you, you know, different things.
Yeah, they have a swamp walk here. It goes about I don't know, probably about a mile back. You know, it's a boardwalk and lift elevated, so you can go and actually, if you go on it, you'll usually. I'm not saying every time, but you'll usually see a gator. But you know, one good thing you are elevated, and you do have to watch for snakes in the trees and stuff. But it's pretty cool, and
Yeah.
they did that about 10 years ago, I guess, and they keep adding to it. But it goes back there pretty far.
Now, do you have any gators where you're at?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were. I'm about. You know, if you ever watched Swamp People, the guy Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Bruce is from Hammond, so
Okay.
yeah, Bruce. He goes right out of what they call a little town called Manchac. It's just south.
Yeah.
Of that's why I go. Sometime if you see my videos, I'm flying. There's a bridge, and that's old Highway 51.
Okay.
And I-55 is right there, but that's the town of Manchac, and that's where they go out of. So it's just a little, you know, a little fishing town.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they go right out of there, and that's what they do all there. You know, now
Wow.
a lot of that, you know, the other guy Troy, they're on down further south. You know, but yeah, Bruce lives in Hammond, and they actually have the Clee Bears have an alligator farm here. They raise them, and you can go there, and they take students, and you know, they you can also get boots made and all that kind of stuff too. So
Really?
yeah.
One of my the biggest bucket list thing I have, and it's going to happen someday, is go up to Kodiak Island and up to that
Shoot 'em.
waterfall.
There you go, DeMarco. He says shoot them.
Shoot them.
That's Troy. Yeah, yeah, it's bad, you know, and you know, I know people say I have an accent, but man, even Troy, that guy Troy, I have to kind of like, you know, that's why they put the subtitles, you know, like sometimes you have to really think about what he says. I know even the LSU coach, well, he's not a coach anymore, Coach Ogeron. It's kind of like you kind of got to like decipher, you know, when he first talks, you know.
Yeah. One of my goals is to get up there. I'm trying to remember the name of those falls up there, but it's where there's sometimes you'll find like a dozen, 20 of the Alaskan brown bears at that waterfall, you know,
Wow.
during the salmon run. And it's the only way to get in there is by boat or float plane. And not just anybody can go there. I think there's like a waiting list,
Huh.
but I want to check into that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Um,
All right, well, Ron, I think I'm gonna hop off and grab a little breakfast. To thank you for joining, and I wasn't
thank you
doing
for
too much
having me.
this morning, and hey, kind of just helped time pass a little bit, and kind of was sitting here and appreciate it. And,
When they going to let you off your leash? And
well, I think tomorrow I can get out a little bit, and you know, not that I really have anywhere to go. I basically plan to do this because I, you know, wanted to be say well for Christmas or at least better. So now, you know, this time of year, I mean, not cutting any grass or anything, so it's a good time. But actually, it's bright and sunny, and I'm looking at the weather. It's going to be 76 degrees for Christmas Day here, so we'll be running the air condition. So
you're killing me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like very unseasonably warm. I mean, we don't really get a lot of cold weather, but you know, you get some of the mornings in the 30s, and at least when the sun pops up. But yeah, it's going to be 77 today, so it's just
but in the summertime, I guess I kind of get you back where you're in the 90s and got about 80% humidity.
Yeah,
and I'm in the 80s with about 30% humidity, and
yeah, it's kind of, man, you know, and then you know, man, it seems like, of course, we had the hurricane this year. Man, it's always really hot when that thing blows through, and of course, you don't have no power, and it's like really about as miserable as it could be.
Yeah.
But
Is your
yeah, we
community
get
getting built back up finally? And
yeah, it's better here in the city. You know, some of the rural areas are they're still. Actually, yesterday we were talking about it yesterday morning. One of my friends stopped by and I said, "Man, I haven't seen the dump trucks. They bring them big tandems, and they still had, they picked up the majority, but they actually came through yesterday evening, and we had one little pile left, and the lady next door had a big pile that I kind of stacked up for her because she rents, and the people
Really?
who own the house never even came checked on her." And then they picked up a big old stump that, a big pine tree had fell. So they got it. So yeah, but yeah, little things like a lot of stop signs are still bent over, and most of the street lights are still out. So they need to get back to, because I know we're paying taxes, and those street lights, you pay for them whether they're burning or not,
Yeah.
So I talked to my council member yesterday, and I said, Steve, I said, man, y'all, it's time. That was August 29th. It's time to, we don't have I guess we probably have 14 or 15 street workers, so they do a good job. But ditches need cleaning because they're stopped up with leaves, and so it's still a lot of work. But yeah, it's better. But people are now starting to look for the people who are finally selling with the insurances. They're putting roofs and remodeling. Had the street behind me here probably had 10 houses with trees through it. So they're starting to work on that, and I finally got mine. I think everything pretty well fixed. I got one little spot here in the kitchen I got to finish up, but I got all my windows fixed that was broke. So yeah, it's getting back. But it's just man, about the weather. We talked about it the other night. It's just so violent lately. Here
have tornadoes this time of year.
Yeah, it's just even here. God, I think the hurricane, of course, it hit on the 29th, and it was 3 nights later. We got another probably 6 inches of rain, and they had people flood from that didn't flood for the hurricane. So it's it's just I don't know, it's just one thing after another. And what do you attribute it to? I don't know. Is it too much building, too much concrete? The weather changes. I don't know. All I know is looking at that footage in Kentucky, man, that's hard to take.
Wow.
I know how it looked here after the hurricane, but it's like my son-in-law. We were looking at it that morning. That Kentucky stuff. He said, "Man, I don't know. I think I'd rather go through a hurricane." But man, that tornadoes. That's a scary thing. Especially they come up so quick, and that thing was really huge.
Yeah. The only one I've seen similar to that, I was going out to visit my brother out in Wichita, and I went through a town called Greenboro, Kansas. And it's in that area they called Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
And this entire town was level. Brick buildings just exploded. It's unbelievable. It was like an F4, F5.
Yeah.
Through there.
Yeah. Well, this thing here, I know it was just flattened. It's just hard to comprehend. Hey, you get a hurricane, and even if you get a tree through your house, but I don't know, to have your house not there or where a slab was is, that's pretty. I can't even comprehend. And the insurance companies. Listen, my insurance company was good to me, but they got a lot of them. I know I got a friend that lives in Lake Charles from last year's hurricane. He's still fighting. You know what I mean?
Really?
So, but that's it's kind of bad when you think about it, because man, hey, I got my premium is sitting right up here. I got to pay. So, you don't have no trouble paying, but they sure have trouble. Now, mine, I will say, mine was, man, look, they couldn't have been no more nicer than me. I got a check probably 10 or 12 days after the hurricane.
No kidding.
For my repairs without any, now, there's a couple big companies. I ain't gonna mention any names but they're probably two of the worst that you have to fool with.
Really?
They just, they want to patch a roof. They want to replace a shingle, and, so, but I don't understand. I'm sure that, I know at the beach condo we had last year when the one hit down there in Orange Beach, we had about $3 million worth of damage at the condo, which, to be honest with you, probably could have been fixed for about $500,000 when Servpro and all of those companies get in there, So it's and I'm sure they get taken advantage of a lot, but hey,
Oh yeah.
what happens is, people are just ready to get back to normal. I mean, I hate to say it, just a minute. Flying Flynn Media, thank you for coming. Just popped in and say hi. Yeah, we're just kind of goofing off. Gonna hop off. But Ron, thank you, and
Thank
everybody
you,
in
Johnny.
the chat. Y'all have a great morning, and
Hey Johnny, if I don't see you, have a good holiday. With
yeah,
your
we'll
family.
be on. I'll be on Sunday morning, do the little drones and coffee, I guess.
Yeah.
That's coming up Sunday, and of course we're gonna do. I think Wednesday night we have Ken Herron's gonna be on, and I think he's gonna be driving to his mother's. So,
yeah,
a fun show. So we'll probably talk with Ken a little bit, then we'll probably just show a bunch of viewer videos. And I know it's like 3 nights before Christmas, but hey, I know people are kind of hanging out, so kind of thought about taking a night off. But it's our 52nd show, so everybody tune in. We're going to be giving away a bunch of prizes, and I think Greg's giving away a Pilot Institute. He's giving away a Pilot Institute course, and we got a bunch of T-shirts and hats we're going to be giving away that night. So
cool.
Everybody
Definitely try and join you. It's in the middle of my work week, but I'll try and join you.
All righty.
Well, thank you, Johnny, and get better.
All righty. Thank you, Ron.
Great. Bye-bye now.